of One Piece live action dropped. No. Came out. Oh! No. Was released. Premiered. No, it didn't do that. It's here. And I watched it all the morning it came out with my best friend, and it was phenomenal, and I want to discuss all of it with you. So I'm planning to do this an episode by episode series, and do not expect it to all come out very fast because I have a lot going on right now, but I plan to delve into every episode with you. I love Emily Rudd. I love Nami. I love Nami so much. Oh my god, I have to show you this picture I drew today. So if you didn't know, I also love Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. I'm really fixated on her at the moment. So, and I really like coloring princess pages. So I colored this Disney princess page of Aurora as Nami from Whole Cake Island because I love that look. Whole Cake Island Nami, trust she will be cosplayed. I'm really pleased with her. Look at her. Yes, she is playing a guitar. Nami picked up a new hobby, okay? I don't know. So this is definitely better. I've also done Ariel as Nami. I have a problem. But this was before I discovered, like, color theory and depth in my coloring pages. But look at, I drew her tattoo on. Anyways, and you look at the flowers, they're tangerines. Okay, anyways. Oh, by the way, the, like, Netflix intro for One Piece is so fun. Oh my god. Sorry, I forgot. I just have it playing here to, like, glance at it and see what's happening. I forgot that we start with Baroque Works invading the base. What is this base called? Whoa, and Marines are absolutely being thrown around by these Baroque Works agents. What is it called? Shellstown. No, I obviously didn't. I forgot. Shellstown. So they're invaded. Oh my god, if I had just let the show play for 1 second, it would appear at the bottom. It says Shellstown, 153rd Marine Base. And then we see two, okay, I'm not gonna go play by play with this, but when I started watching this with my best friend Evie, I literally was, I thought I was picking up on something really cool, but maybe some people didn't notice, okay? Maybe. But the two Marines that we see laying on the ground, like the girl falls, that is the girl that was like, Nami was like, I'm looking for a map of the Grand Line. Axan Morgan told me to come down here and get one in season 1. And she was like, we don't carry Grand Line maps in this room, do we? And she looks over and it's the guy that Nami beat up and stole his uniform. And he's like, hey, you're the girl. They're the two Marines that are getting their asses kicked right now. And so then the girl dies and I was like, no. She talked to Nami in season 1. But I love it. Like, the stakes are high. But rest in peace. You had a conversation with Nami, and I had a really tiny bit of attachment to you. Just because I was like, I know her. But she gets her face stomped in by Miss Valentine. And then Booger Boy walks up. What's his name? Mr. Not 8. It's not 9. Jem. His name is Jem. I love that for him. Mr. 5. Mr. 5. Okay. Mr. 5 is there, and then Miss All Sunday appears behind them. Oh my god, they are feeding us. Like, okay, just the way that it's structured and the way that, like, this is the first scene we see, like, it's so excited for the show. Like, you know the stakes are gonna be high and everything's gonna be crazy. And then Robin is here. I was freaking out. 5 in the morning, I'm freaking out when I watch this. Oh my god, the costuming in this show is so amazing. It gives me chills. Like, I just literally got chills. Anyway, then she kills all of them in a really cool sequence. Anyway, I told you we're not going play by play, but then okay, things to highlight, like, that is just, like, what an introduction for Miss All Sunday. I love her so much. And Lyra Belova, I believe is her name, who plays her. perfect casting, perfect casting, and I'm so pleased. I loved the amount of like spookiness they gave Robin. I feel like she was like even more villainous in the live action, and I really love to see that. I really love to see it. I love women. So like the setup of having Zorro kill Mr. Seven in season 1 was so perfectly like led into this, with them being like, who killed him? Like, oh my god, masterpiece of a show. I'm kissing the ground at the writer's feet, but I just think it was so well done. So then she's like, Monkey D. Luffy, looking at his wanted poster. Anyways, the first scene we see with our crew is just like so cute. Usopp is using all the black pepper for his little black pepper balls. I don't know, and Sanji's like, I needed that black pepper. And then to have Nami be like, this is really delicious, but I'm not really tasting the black pepper. And Sanji being like, was so silly. And then we get the scene that we saw that was released ahead of time as a little sneak peek that I previously talked about. You can view that here, I believe. Maybe here. I never know. I always forget. I forgot to mention in that, like, I love that they gave us a little bit, like, that scene is such a wonderful encapsulation of the crew's dynamic, and, like, it's such a good scene to use to get us excited, and, oh, it works. I just love that scene. I love that scene. But I love Sanji and Zoro's, like, bickering there, where he's like, oh, yeah, you need new swords because you got your ass kicked by Mihawk, and he's like, you weren't even there, shut up, blah, 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 blah. Beautiful, wonderful. Also, again, with the costuming, like, Sanji with the little apron, since I just rewatched the anime of this section, like, that is spot on, it's spot on. He's wearing that cute little apron in the anime, and Nami's outfit is perfect, which, by the way, I'm wearing this shirt in honor of it. I'm gonna dress up as her when I go to a convention next weekend, so this is what that's for, as well as just me adding it to my everyday wardrobe. Anyways, so they decide to go to Logtown, to Usopp's dismay. He's got a case of, I can't go on that scary island or I'll die. But I really enjoyed, like, Nami convinces Luffy, like, you want to go here, right? And so Luffy's like, you know I do. And then he's like, all right, Straw Hats, to Logtown. And then he's like, wait, it's this way, right? And then the little, like, that Nami gives is so silly. I love it so much. I love Emily Rudd, and her portrayal of Nami is so splendid. I really love her Nami so much, and she just looks so pretty this season. I can't handle it. Okay, so they go to Logtown. We get a little flashback scene of Gold Roger in his cell talking to Garp, and he's like, I have a son. And we were all like, I really enjoyed that. Like, I love the things that they're setting up. Like, obviously we didn't know that initially, but I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing. And it is such, like, a lovely thing to incorporate, given the theme, given that Luffy's gonna have this little, like, mirroring Gold Roger on the execution stand later this episode. Not that that means anything, but it could. I will not be giving spoilers for, like, farther ahead in the anime unless it's something discussed about in the live action. And if you don't want to hear those spoilers, I don't know what to tell you, because those are discussed in the live action. Just go watch the anime. Just go watch it. Catch up. You got this. Okay, the Zoro and Sanji bickering. These are my things under accuracy highlights. Nami lends Zoro berry, but she charges 300% interest. I love the spot on accuracy with that. Zoro being, like, lost and confused, and then being like, I'm not. With Tashigi. Tashigi is perfect. Seeing Tashigi, what's her name? Julia Raywald? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but her and Emily Rudd, who plays Nami, were in a movie trilogy that I love, Fear Street, together, so having them both in this season and, like, the Fear Street gang. Her Tashigi is perfect. So good. So good. Like, all the scenes, everything is so good. I can't handle it. Anyway, Zoro and Sanji bickering. I loved when Luffy wanders off going to look for the execution platform, and Sanji comes back and they're like, you lost him? And Zoro's like, if you lost our captain, you're gonna be the first one I use my new sword. And then, like, he's so protective of his Shayla Luffy. but also Zoro, like, Zoro getting his new swords, like, that scene is literally so good. Like, it is so perfect. It's like they took it right out of the anime, but like enhanced it with like the set and the actors. And not to say that the voice actors in that weren't phenomenal, they were phenomenal, the anime voice actors, but like the set is so cool, and the actors like expressions are perfect, and Zoro saying "I'll take it," like in the little smile, oh, it's literally straight from the anime. I also wanted to say Buggy is incredible. I love seeing Buggy. Here's a clip of me and Evie laughing. The Buggy like lawyer scene, oh my god, the like additions that they add in this show I enjoy so much, and that was so fun and so special, and I was dying laughing. I didn't see that Buggy was dressed up with the little lawyer hair until Evie pointed it out, and then I like was dying. Seeing Hanger Man, like there was a lot of things that like obviously like we don't need all these tiny little bits, but having him be there still, the guy that sells Nami or doesn't sell Nami clothes in the anime, I thought was really cool. Like just seeing him and being like, oh my god, because that's the guy that Nami like is like trying on all the clothes in his store, and he's like, oh, magnificent, wonderful, you look amazing, and then he has them all set out on the counter like she's gonna check out, and she's like, too expensive, never mind, and then he's like, have a good day. Yeah, everyone's outfits are perfect. Nami sensing the rain, I loved that. It's just, that's what happened. Her being like, I don't know. Random things I loved. I loved seeing Sanji and Luffy's dynamic. I love those Shaylas. I love all of the like random combos you can have of Straw Hats or like One Piece characters. I love them all. They're all so like, these are not just characters. Like they are real to me because of how well they're written and like explored. Like I like you know them. I don't know what I'm saying, but I love Sanji babysitting Luffy, and like I loved him like steering Luffy back towards the group when they're like all talking. Smoker was perfect, and oh my god, smoking, amazing. He was so good, and his little, I really enjoyed them having the, like, it wasn't necessary, but there's a couple things that like aren't necessary, but I'm glad that they're there. I really liked the little girl running into him with her ice cream and him being like, sorry, my pants ate your ice cream. It's like, I loved it. I love that they gave us that. They didn't give us Daddy the Father. I totally forgot about Daddy the Father until I was rewatching the anime for this video. Daddy the Father? Okay, that is the funniest shit to me. Like, I don't know why it's so funny to me, but being named Daddy the Father, hilarious. Again, I literally watched this yesterday, actually, so it's embarrassing that I don't remember everything about Daddy the Father, but he was, let me look him up. His daughter is the one that has Usopp's goggles, so I enjoyed that we see Usopp, like, going and taking them from her in the live action, even though we don't get, like, all the in-depth shit with that. Oh, he's a bounty hunter, and he's got, like, history with Yasopp, Usopp's dad, which, by the way, in the anime, when we get to see this, like, backstory with Yasopp and Daddy the Father, he was like, oh, I have a son, blah, 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 and I love him more than anything, but something else was calling to me, and it, like, shows the pirate flag. I'm like, okay, Yasopp is really cool with his skills, but damn, he's kind of a bitch. I'm sorry, your sick wife, you left your sick wife and son, I don't know if she was sick when he left, but, like, bitch, I hate to say it, but okay, so don't have a kid if you're gonna go be a pirate. I don't know. Like, a lot of, I feel like, Usopp's, like, struggles stem from whatever. Do better. Yasopp. Alvida. The slip, where she takes her shoes off, spot on. Everything, wonderful. I loved the way that all played out. And the additions that we got in the live action, like Bartolomeo, I love him so much. That right there, that is a Shayla. And my Shayla, I love him so much, and I think it was so fun and special that we got him here, because I heard through the grapevine that Oda said that he was here, but like we don't see that in the anime. So getting to see him and like the groundwork being laid for seeing him later in Dressrosa was really, really fun. I love him so much, and I love him looking in the mirror after his like everything with Luffy and being like, trying to like copy the Luffy wanted poster. So well done. Thank you. I loved Usopp calling Kaya. I loved that. I loved that. Please never stop mentioning Kaya, because like if that's Usopp's girl, I need more. I loved that. I loved that little addition of him leaving a message for her. I loved the like, oh, like this is the anniversary of Gold Roger's death is like a big celebrated like event. Like there's posters and like it's like to be like, hey, don't be a pirate. Like look what happens if you do this. So I thought that was cool that like to celebrate the 22nd anniversary, or not celebrate, commemorate, I don't know. I noticed some things that were left out. Oh, I liked the change of like the way that Tashigi bumps into Zoro. In the anime, she's like fighting these guys and Zoro's watching, and then she like stumbles. She does this really badass thing where she's fighting these guys and then she's like, whoa, and like stumbles over, and I'm like, no. So I liked that wasn't how it went in the anime or in the live action. Because then in the anime she has this like Velma moment where she's like, my glasses, and I'm like, is this Scooby frickin' Doo? And then Zoro's like, here, and then he looks at her and he's like, oh my god, Koina, and then he breaks them. He's like, like I know you're having a moment, but is your moment, your instinct is to crush the glasses you just picked up? So then there was a silly part though. I really liked that he liked to like pay her back. He's like mopping the marine base or something, and he's like, this is gonna take forever. 3 mop technique. And then he has a mop in his mouth and in his hands and he's mopping everything, and it's so silly. I love the little things in the anime that are so just stupid and silly. Another thing that I missed from the anime, but I understand, let me preface, I understand that with the live action, they are trying to honor and translate over the anime / manga to live action, but I think they're trying to do some of their own little bits, which I've been enjoying. I think they're all really good. So there's a couple little bits that get left out, okay? Just a couple. And one of them, like, I know it wouldn't have made sense, so understandably it was left out, because Buggy's appearance is sort of like Buggy! That's why Luffy's hat flew off. We didn't know he was here. In the anime, we watched him, like, almost get eaten by this bird on an island and then get back with his crew. Like, we didn't need all that. So, like, he just shows up here. So we didn't know he was here, but in the anime, since we did know he was here, we got to see him and his crew all in their like hoods, and I really, really liked the moment where Luffy's looking for the platform and Buggy is looking for Luffy, and they're standing there, and Luffy's like here, like, and Buggy's like here, standing and looking, and Luffy's like, platform, where's the platform? And then they are both looking the same direction, and they're like viewpoints lined up. So funny. That is comedy. But then Buggy's like, that way, and Luffy's like, thanks, and then he starts walking off, and Buggy's like, wait a minute. And then later, this part, I wish we had got this part, but again, I understand. When Luffy and Zoro are eating in a restaurant, and Luffy's like, man, I'm glad I ran into you, like, this is a good chance to eat a good meal before we go to the Grand Line. And Zoro's like, yeah, same. Especially because I don't have any money. And Luffy's like, you don't have any money? I thought you had money. How are we gonna pay for this? And then Buggy's like in the back being like, damn it! Slamming his fist on the table. I need to find Luffy. Where is that stupid straw hat? And he's pounding his fist on the table. And his little bag of money is jumping. And then he hits it really hard and it jumps and it lands on Luffy's hat. And Luffy's like, wow! And then he gives the bag back, but he takes a coin or whatever. And he's like, gee, thanks, man. And then Zoro comes over and he's like, yeah, thanks, dude. I don't remember exactly what he says, but Buggy being like, yeah, you're welcome, whatever. Just kills me. And then I think it's Moji he's sitting with is like, wasn't that straw hat? But I loved him being like, yeah, you're welcome, whatever. Like, Buggy is hilarious. I love Buggy so much. Fun fact, one of the children that I babysit, I got into One Piece, and he loves Buggy. Buggy is one of his favorites. He got the Buggy Lego set for Christmas from the live action, and he loves Buggy. So, like last weekend, I think, yeah, I went over to their house and to watch begin season 2, not watch all of it. And I opened the door, and he had like Buggy makeup on, like the like clown makeup. And it was so cute. He had a cloak and a pirate hat, and we had a splendid time. One of the little girls watched with too, and it was just so wonderful. But I was like, I'll cry. Anyways, the cook-off was left out. Like, I didn't think we needed that. I thought it was kind of silly, like, Sanji having a cook-off to get this fish, but I feel like that being cut out does not really matter. Oh, and then I feel like the duel with Usopp and Daddy the Father, like, them cutting it out is completely fine because they explore Usopp's, like, struggle with bravery in the Little Garden episode, which we'll talk about later. But I do like exploring Usopp's character, so I'm glad that they didn't completely cut out, like, that character growth for Usopp later. Luffy visiting the Gold Roger bar was not there, but it's fine, we still got, like, a lot of that. Yeah, and then, like, we see, like, the barman, kind of like, whoa, this kid is reminding me of Roger. I feel like them cutting that out because we can't have all of these little things is okay, because then we get that later on the platform anyway. I heard some people are mad about One Piece anime and manga spoilers being introduced earlier, but like that, I really just don't understand. Like, okay, don't watch it then. Finish the anime and manga first. Like, I haven't, but I am aware that if somehow a spoiler comes up, it's not on them, that's on me, obviously. I just feel like that's like a stupid complaint. I'm close to the end anyway, but I will talk about this in future episodes when more of these things are hinted at, like things from later in the series. But I think everything that was put in there was very tasteful, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh my god, like, I felt like so nerdy, but I was like, bro, do you know how important that is, you know? Seeing Sabo, I won't go any farther in case you, like, haven't seen the anime or read the manga and you don't know the importance of that, but seeing that guy in the back there really made me happy. Dragon was great. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the first one. Oh, I did want to say though, I hide out in comment sections sometimes, and I read people's complaints just because I'm like, I want to be informed on what the public is saying. I feel like the general consensus is that it was phenomenal, but some people are in comment sections complaining like they cut out all the good bits, like, and to that I say, I know for sure. No, I don't. Are you the same people who complain about the pacing in the anime? Because so many people complain about the pacing in the anime, and I totally understand. But me personally, I love the slow-ass pacing. You want to take my time up with beautiful art, artists, animation, music, storytelling. Oh my god, be my guest. I don't mind it, but I know a lot of people do. I could spend my whole life watching that. And I will. But I enjoy getting to be with the characters for so long. It feels more immersive for me to spend so much time with them through each adventure. Like, I feel like it makes you feel more like you're there. But I do totally understand the criticism, especially with, like, the same shots of different angles of shots. Like, I thought this was really funny. So, like, I completely understand, but if people are going to be complaining like they cut out all the good bits, you also can't be the same people who complain that the anime is too long and the pacing is terrible, because the live action is doing really, really well with the pacing. You can't have both there. I think for a live action with a budget, they're obviously not going to recreate all 1,100 episodes so far. Like, changes and cuts are going to need to be made. But from what I've seen of the changes and the cuts that they have made, they're very thoughtful, and the love and thought being put into this show, I will gladly put my trust in the team behind it to make those hard decisions because of what they've given us so far. Like, I trust. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents about that. I love both. The anime with its slow-ass pacing and the live action that's a little faster. Let me know down below, what did you think of episode 1 of One Piece live action season 2? I cannot wait to discuss in length with you episode 2. Love you, bye!